Okay, so I'm going on a bike ride, and on the way, I'm going to be going to the library to pick up some more DVDs to watch. We're going to watch the Alien movies, the newest one. It's a rewatch for us, but I'm gonna go pick those up at the library. But first, I wanted to talk about everything that I read in April, and I actually had a really good reading month. I know I don't think it's like a crazy amount of books, but for me, it was fantastic. Like, my physical reading has basically skyrocketed this month. So first I'm going to talk about the audiobooks that I read. I did two audiobooks this month. They were both rereads. The first one that I finished was Pride and Prejudice. I absolutely love Jane Austen. Pride and Prejudice is my favorite. I definitely would put it as like one of my all-time favorite books that I've ever read. And the Keira Knightley adaptation of it is definitely my favorite movie of all time. It's by far the movie that I've watched the most. So yeah, did a nice reread. I love seeing the differences between the book and the Keira Knightley version of the movie. I recently watched the BBC adaptation with Colin Firth, and that one was way more accurate to the book. So that was just a nice to see different versions of the same story. And then the next one that I read or listened to was Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. And I originally read that one in high school, I believe. Like, it had been a long time since I had read that. And I remember in high school, reading something of that magnitude when I was like 15. I definitely didn't understand everything that was going on. And now that I've reread it, I definitely took in way more. I do find when I do audiobooks, I don't retain as much, I think, because I'm not visually seeing it, because I'm definitely a visual person. So the audio, I find it hard to retain everything. But from what I remember, because it's been a couple weeks now since I finished it, the accuracy at some of the things Huxley predicted is just astounding. Like, I don't want to give too many. I mean, I know this book's been out for like 80 years, but if you're interested in reading it, I think it's very important for people to read stuff like this because of how accurately he predicted just some of the, like, I think are bad ways that society is going. Like the drug use to just be able to cope with life and be happy and, you know, be at a similar level your entire life. You're never too happy or too sad. Um, and the thing that I actually find the craziest that he predicted was the fast fashion. He comments on how instead of people fixing their clothes to just throw it away and buy new stuff, and that's definitely what capitalism is all about nowadays. Everything that you buy is just made to break like after a couple uses, especially in terms of clothing. And the way the book ends, whew, that's a very stark ending, I will say that. So I think it is a very important read for people. So then next I'll talk about the book that I'm currently reading. I almost finished it in April, but I think I should finish it today or tomorrow. It's another one on the Goodreads sci-fi list. I think this one is like number 15 or so. I'll have to check. But I am almost done this book. I have about 100 pages left. And this is what I was hoping for when I decided to read all the Goodreads sci-fi books. This is like exactly what I was wanting out of a sci-fi book. So I'm not going to go too crazy into the Goodreads ones because I want to do a separate video on those where I really talk about, the plot summary, how I felt about it, and like my review and everything. So I'm just gonna say that so far I'm really liking it. The ending's gonna have to be really stupid for me not to give this at least 4 stars. And then next I'm gonna talk about, I have two books that are soft DNFs for now because I am noticing that as I'm getting more into reading, I tend to struggle to stick with one book. I get, ooh, here's a shiny new book. Ooh, here's a shiny new book. So unless the book is really captivating me, like this one for example, I'll end up switching to another book. And I think a lot of people aren't going to be happy with this, but right now Oathbringer is one of those. I'm thinking I might see if I can get the audiobook version of this. I think I'll be able to get through it a lot easier as an audiobook. So I think that's one of the struggles. Just, yeah, seeing that big chunk of a book, I'm just never in the mood to pick it up really. I'm finding reading these are like work almost. Like they're putting me into a slump. So I think, yeah, if I do it as an audiobook, I'll be able to get through this. So I have it on hold on Libby. So I'm waiting for the audiobook to get off hold, and then I should be able to finish this. Like, it's not that I'm hating it. It's just, I'm just not ever really in the mood to read it. I guess, like, the writing style maybe just isn't jiving with me. I don't know. It's just, I'm very ambivalent towards it. Like, this is probably going to be a 3-star read once I finish it. But I only ended up reading, I think, maybe 50 pages this month. And I'm going to do that going forward into May. I have an app where I'm keeping track of every single page that I read because I love data and numbers. So I want to see how much I'm actually reading month to month. And then the next soft DNF is Songs for the End of the World. It's about COVID. Well, it's not about COVID, but it basically is. Like, it's about a pandemic that she happened to write exactly and published it exactly as COVID was happening. So I don't know. I just haven't been in the mood for it. When I was like, I'm about a third of the way through it, is when I decided to start doing the Goodreads books. So, you know, the whole ooh shiny, the Goodreads kind of distracted me from reading this. So I think I should get around to this soon. And it is a library book, so I do have to get to it at some point. So then next were the other 2 books that I finished in April, which were Goodreads books. So again, I'm not going to go too deep into how I felt about them, but I'll give a basic overall, did I like it or didn't I like it? And I think I've talked about these ones already, but the first one that I finished was The Ministry of Time, and I did not like it. I've been thinking on it, and I think I had originally given it 1.5 stars, but I'm downgrading it to 1 star. I don't think this book should exist. And outside of the weird, spicy scenes, the pacing was just really off. Like, I had mentioned that I think like the first 2/3 of the book, basically nothing happens. Like, this really needed an editor for it to be better. And, you know, no spice scenes with people that are real. And then the last one that I read was Beautyland, and I really liked this. I gave it 4 stars. I didn't give it 5 because I found it was misleading that it was in the sci-fi Goodreads award. Like, it was mismarketed. I found, like, my library has these stickers, like, to show that this is a sci-fi book, but like, this is not a sci-fi book. This just has sci-fi words in it. And if you read it, you'll understand what I mean by that. And I think I've mentioned that in other videos too. And like, same with this one. I don't really consider this to be sci-fi, so I was also annoyed by that because this one was the one that won the Goodreads awards, and like, it's not even really sci-fi for me. Like, I guess it's subjective, but not sci-fi. This one, at least, like, the writing, I blew through these super fast. At least, like, this one I did not want to put down. That's why I've been struggling with Oathbringer, and I'm like, maybe I should just do it as an audiobook because it shouldn't be that much of a struggle to read, because I finished this in 3 days. And even this, like, I didn't like it because I was hate reading it at that point, but same thing. I think I finished this one in like 4 days because I just wanted to get it over with. But the writing style, at least, I guess I found easier. I don't know if it's making any sense, but I think just because of how dense Oathbringer is, that's why I'm finding it it's putting me in a reading slump, because yeah, these I just blew through, even though I didn't like this one. But I think it's really the writing style. I think I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, but if you get my gist, yeah. So I actually finished 4 books this month. I read 7, but I actually finished 4 of them, and 2 were audiobooks. I mean, I count audiobooks as reading, so yeah, I think I had a good reading month this month, and I'm excited for May. So my plans for May right now is I want to finish Service Model, and I should do that today or tomorrow. And then I have so many more books from the library that I need to get to, so I think I'm just going to pick one from there. We'll see which one. I'm kind of just going more which one is just interesting me the most by cover, because I like to go into books as blind as possible, so I'm just going off of vibes, judging a book by its cover. So we'll see which one I pick next. As I'm editing this video, I realized I forgot to talk about The Testaments. I didn't finish it this month, so I think that's why I forgot. It's also an audiobook that I've been doing. Highly recommend. I do feel dumb, however, reading this. Like, I feel dumb reading this. I've felt dumb reading Brave New World. I feel like I'm not grasping everything that they're talking about, but this is why I like reading stuff like that, because it's opening my mind to new ideas and concepts, and especially with The Testaments, because a lot of it, she touches on how they don't read in the New World, and it's just very accurate to the way the world is going. And I was talking to a friend about this, and it makes me sad that the people that need to be reading books, like specifically The Handmaid's Tale and The Testaments, are people that just don't read in general. And yeah, it just makes me sad, because I wish the people that need to read them would read these books and, be like me and feel dumb because they're being shown a wider understanding of the world and they're learning things. But alas, I also feel I didn't reread The Handmaid's Tale. Like, I originally read that like 10 years ago. So I think I should have read Handmaid's Tale again before reading The Testaments, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I'm missing out on. Again, contributing to the factor of that I feel dumb reading this, but I think it's just I'm missing out on a lot of stuff details that I've forgotten from Handmaid's Tale, because I think it's been at least 10 years since I read Handmaid's Tale. But anyways, thought I would add that in. So I read 4 books fully and 3 books partially this month, so not bad for me. It's the best month I've had this year so far, so I'm off. I mean, I know the year is already a third over, but I'm off to a good start.